What's up, B? Hands Down Sports. Thanks for tuning in to Starting LineUp Podcast. We have another episode for y'all, number 5, numero cinco. My G Overs is not in today, my co-host. He's doing a little business deal. Hopefully that works out for him. You know, I'm praying for you, my G. And we'll see him real soon. But today, we got awesome things to talk about. Of course, our New York teams are doing really good in all sports. We got some boxing for you, NFL fantasy talk, and we're going to be talking about the All-Star game for the MLB. It's on Tuesday, so tune in. I definitely will. Monday, I believe, is the Home Run Derby. So let's check it out, babe. Hands Down Sports here. Just kick back, get that J, a cup of yak, and take a listen. Let's do it, B. And of course, our first segment is always our New York teams. I'm always repping New York, the greatest city in the world. But of course, you know, the Buffalo Bills is all the way up there. And everything else that is involved in professional sports. The New York Knicks, you know, they did their trades, you know, all that. But recently, Jalen Brunson got an extension. And because this guy is looking to try to build something for real and win a chip, probably multiple ones, he left some money on the table. Some people are saying, hey, he should have never done that. He should have took it all. You'll never get an opportunity like this again in the future. But he got a 4-year extension with about 150 something million, and he could have gotten more, of course. But I respect this dude and how he carries himself and what he's thinking about for the future of himself, of him and his family, and this organization. So I hope that we can get one more piece, because Hartstein unfortunately left to OKC, and we can build this chip next year with Bridges and everybody. So the New York Liberty over there in the WNBA have the best record in the league. They have the best home record as well, and they stopped the wonderful Angel Reese from getting her 16th consecutive double-double. She's been doing amazing, and unfortunately, the Liberty had to be the one to put her streak to an end. But that's all right, Angel. Go ahead and start up another one, my G. That's all. Well, I'm sorry I said my G. She's a beautiful lady, but our Mets and Yankees, they're doing okay. I mean, Yankees are in a little slump, but they're still tied right now, going into the All-Star break with the Baltimore Orioles, one of the top teams, probably top 5 in the league. I believe the Phillies have the best record at the moment. The Mets are like 500. They're not doing too bad. I know that they've been hitting the ball over the fence lately, but they need a nice little run, like a little 10-game win streak or something, or win 4 out of 5 series coming up after the All-Star game to kind of get them in a little better place. Because right now I think they're still fighting. If the playoffs started today, they would be fighting for that last spot. But the Yankees, with the help of Soto and Judge, but as a collective, the Yankees are top 5 in home runs, ERA, and RBIs. Well, ERA is, they're pitchers. So I know that these guys don't pitch, but batting wise, home runs and RBIs are at the top of the league, and the Yankees got a really good record. When we come and talk about the New York Giants and the Jets are in the news due because Aaron Rodgers is looking good. He's Gary Wilson is looking spectacular right now in their practices and stuff, and I do hope that they do real good. I mean, I don't think they're going to win the Super Bowl, but it'd be nice if they can get close. The G-Men are on HBO Max. They are doing a spectacular job with Hard Knocks, representing the New York Giants NFL football team. It looks really awesome. I'm so interested in watching the third episode. They got me hooked, man, because they're talking about behind the scenes, how to maneuver that general manager position, and very important because they they do a tremendous job to try to make the team a contender and hopefully win another Super Bowl. So good luck to them, and HBO Max. Salute, man. You guys are doing a hell of a job over there, my G. Now the New York football team, which is NYCFC, which is football club, the soccer squad, they're doing really good. Of course, like I said, my notes are a little behind, but their record is 11 wins, 8 losses, 2 draws. They're 4th overall in the Eastern Conference, and since I live here in Orlando, Florida, Orlando City Soccer Club is not that far away from me, and I hope to attend one of their games with my son, and we want to go watch both of those squads, the NYC Football Club and Orlando City Soccer Club. So stay tuned to that, man, because I'll definitely put out a video and show you their stadium and hopefully their venue, what foods are there, how awesome the seats look, because I can't afford the front row stuff. But it'll be nice if somebody sponsor me, and then or sponsor us as a Starting Lineup podcast, and then we can do the podcast right there on your in your suite, live and direct, straight action, baby. But besides that, all of our New York squads, including Buffalo Bills, who are kind of sounds like they're rebuilding, but the team members that they have right now, man, that it feels to me like they're not looking at this season in that manner. They still got Josh Allen, they still got a good defense, and the pieces that they have besides their rookie drafted player that they did this year have been on the squad for a while. So look out for the Buffalo Bills, man. Hopefully they make a splash this year. Since the All-Star game for baseball is going to be this Tuesday, and today is Sunday, I wanted to talk about a few of the ball players that are going to be starting and some of the stats that are available at the moment. Because a lot of guys are doing really good, especially some players that didn't have a good season last year. They're in the making for a lot of for an all-star appearance. So, like for example, we're here talking about Chris Sale, Atlanta's pitcher. He came from Boston. He used to be a White Sox, and he's 11-3, unless he's pitched recently, which I haven't checked. His ERA is 2.71, and he has 127 strikeouts. Well, 2.71 ERA. He's one of the most dominant pitchers right now, so he's back doing what he used to do. Back to the old ways of Chris Sale. And that's in the National League. In the American League, Seth Lugo, pitcher for the Kansas City Royals, has the best record and amazing ERA, over 100 strikeouts already. So he's 11-2. ERA is 2.17 or 2.17, which is the opposite kind of like of Chris Sale's, right? And then he has 105 strikeouts. The one that was leading in batting average when I was checking this out, like maybe 5 or 6 days ago, Shohei Ohtani, leading in batting average, is 319. That might change, of course. All of these stats might be a little bit different if you look into it right now. But Aaron Judge has 32 home runs, 83 RBIs, and he has to have 33 home runs because he hit one yesterday against the Orioles. Luis Arias from the San Diego Padres has 112 hits, and Ellie De La Cruz is leading the major leagues with 41 stolen bases. Maybe he has a little bit more than that, but go check that out. Pitching wise, Ryan Helsley for the St. Louis Cardinals is racking up the saves. He has 31 saves, leading the league. The Chicago White Sox, Garrett Crochet, pitcher, has 141 Ks. He's also on the All-Star roster. Even though the White Sox are not doing good, and yesterday the Pirates and them played a really awesome game until they got to the ninth inning and the Pirates took over. But the White Sox, it's like they can't put it together, but they have a good team. They just haven't really meshed. But Garrett is looking really good for them, getting a lot of people out at the mound. And then Zach Wheeler has 14 quality starts, which leads the major leagues, and I think he has one more because they recently played the Dodgers, and I seen him go in deep into the 7th, 8th inning. So check that out. Now the starters for the American League MLB. At catcher, we have Adley Rutschman from the Baltimore Orioles. At first base, we have my Dominicano Vladimir Guerrero Jr. from Toronto Blue Jays. At second base, we have Marcus Semien, Texas Rangers second baseman. I think he played for the Blue Jays too, right? I forgot. I think he did, yeah. Third baseman, my guy, another Dominicano, Jose Ramirez from the Cleveland Guardians. Guarding that home plate, baby. And I think he's in that top 5 MVP talk. But his batting average doesn't show it, but everything else he's doing is just top of the line. Gunnar Henderson from Baltimore Orioles is going to be the starting shortstop at the All-Star game. And the 3 outfielders that are starting is going to be Aaron Judge, Juan Soto from the New York Yankees, both of them, and then Steven Kwan, Cleveland Guardians. At DH is one of the best hitters in the league. Just very patient at the plate with power, and that's Yordan Alvarez from the Houston Astros. Our starting pitching for the American League. Now, I don't know who's going to start. I think out of this list here, it may be Corbin Burns from the Baltimore Orioles, but Tyler Anderson, who's representing the Los Angeles Angels, Garrett Crochet from the White Sox in Chicago, Logan Gilbert, Seattle Mariner, Tanner Houck from Boston Red Sox, Seth Lugo, who we just talked about. I mean, he might be the starter actually because he has the best winning record right now in the American League, and he's of course for Kansas City Royals. Another Kansas City Royal pitcher, Cole Reagans, and then we close it out with Tariq Skubal, Detroit Tigers pitcher. At relief, we have Emmanuel Clace from Cleveland, Clay Holmes from the Yankees, Andres Munoz from the Mariners, Mason Miller from the Oakland A's Athletics, representing them. That's awesome. And then Kirby Yates from the Rangers, Texas. Now, the reserves at catcher will have the experience. Salvador Perez, Kansas City Royals. Infielder Carlos Carrera, he plays shortstop for the Minnesota Twins. Infielder Josh Naylor from the Cleveland Guardians. Isaac Paredes from the Tampa Bay Rays. That's what's up, man. One of the best players on their offensive team, and I think there's some other guys that got snubbed because Tampa Bay got some guys that could be on this roster, but at least we have one representing there for the Tampa Bay. Jordan Westberg, Baltimore Oriole infielder, and then one of my favorite players at shortstop, Bobby Witt Jr. for the Kansas City Royals. The 3 outfielders that are on the reserve, Boston Red Sox, Jarren Duran, Detroit Tigers, Riley Green, and then Baltimore Orioles, Anthony Santander. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right, Anthony. I do apologize, my guy, for mispronouncing your last name. And then a possible DH replacement would be David Fry from the Cleveland Guardians. Now, as you can see, I mean, I'm saying these guys, and it's like the same teams, in this year's All-Star game. So it doesn't seem like every single team has one guy representing. It's like the same teams over and over. But those that were elected to be in the All-Star game this year, but unfortunately are unable to play, would be Jose Altuve from Houston Astros, Rafael Devers, my guy, Dominicano baby, from Boston Red Sox, Logan Gilbert, Seattle Mariner, and then Kyle Tucker, Houston Astros outfielder. And now I'm going to talk about the National League All-Star team. These players right here are going to be starting. And we have catcher from Milwaukee, William Contreras, which I believe is Dominican, babe. If he is, salute. If you're not, salute. You know what I mean? Latinos is just mad nice at baseball for some reason. First baseman, and get used to this because this team is all over the infield this year. We got Bryce Harper at first base, Philadelphia Philly. We got Alec Boehm at third base, another Philadelphia Philly. And Trey Turner at shortstop, another Philadelphia Philly. At second base, we got Dominicano Cantel Marte. He's amazing for the Diamondbacks. And our outfielders are going to be Christian Yelich from the Milwaukee Brewers, Fernando Tatis Jr., Dominicano. He's back as an all-star after, his situations. And then we have Jurickson Profar. Hopefully I pronounced that right, babe. If you've been watching my other Starting Lineup podcasts, I be mispronouncing people's names. I know they want to wring my neck, babe. But Profar also plays for San Diego, and he's a utility guy. He can play outfield, infield. He can be all over the place. And then, of course, the DH for the National League is going to be Shohei Ohtani from the Los Angeles Dodgers. Who else would it be, right? That dude is doing his thing. Now, the pitcher, starting pitching. Now, I do believe they were talking about the Pittsburgh Steelers, Paul Skeens. I think it's called Schemes. His last name Skeens. As being the starter, and he's a rookie in the major league this year. And I heard he used to be a catcher in college, and then transitioned to be a pitcher. And go check out his story, man, because it's really awesome. The dude is like, he hasn't lost a game. He almost pitched a no-hitter, but they had to take him out in the 8th inning because he already had like 110 pitches or whatever. And for somebody that good, that young, unfortunately, we got to take you out, babe. Back in the days in the 90s, you would have completed that game and see, as soon as they got one hit, then they would have took you out. But, that guy is amazing. I think he's going to be the starter. But the other pitchers that we got in the National League, and the National League is stacked, bro. We got Max Fried from Atlanta Braves, Hunter Green from the Cincinnati Reds, Shota Imanaga from the Chicago Cubs. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. I apologize like always, man. Reynaldo Lopez, Atlanta Brave. Christopher Sanchez from Philadelphia Phillies. Logan Webb from the San Francisco Giants, which, man, I didn't think Logan Webb was doing that good, man. He went under the radar for me, man. I didn't think he was an all-star, but he's there. And then they're going to round it off with Zach Wheeler, Philadelphia Phillies pitcher. And, he's one of the top dogs in the league. Now, at relief, they got Ryan Helsley. We talked about him. He has the most saves for the St. Louis Cardinals in the major leagues. Jeff Hoffman, another Philadelphia Philly. Tanner Scott from the Miami Marlins. Yo, salute to him. At least we got somebody representing us. So we got one Ray and one Marlin in the All-Star game. That's awesome. I love it. Matt Strahan from the Philadelphia Phillies. And then Robert Suarez from the San Diego Padres for relief. Now, of course, the reserve. These guys are deserving starting lineup. All-Star game potential here, but fortunately, the votes, the fans, they dictate a lot of things here. So, Will Smith from the Dodgers, that used to be acting with Martin Lawrence. No, I'm just joking. Will Smith is the catcher for the Dodgers, and he's the reserve All-Star this year. C.J. Abrams from Washington, he's an infielder. I think he does second base or short. I'm glad that the Nationals have an All-Star player representing the National League. That's pretty awesome. The one that's the controversy right now, which I just heard today, which I didn't even know because I know he's not having a All-Star type season, but Pete Alonso for the New York Mets is a reserve infielder. He plays first base. He's on the squad. Might not get any burn, but Luis Arias, infielder, second baseman for San Diego Padres, the best player in the major leagues in my honest opinion right now in 2024, and he's been really good ever since he stepped foot in the pros, is Mookie Betts, shortstop / outfielder for the Los Angeles Dodgers. And he's hurt, so he might not play. I don't think so, but we'll see. And then the most electrifying, quickest, fastest ball player that we've seen in a very long time, Ellie De La Cruz, Cincinnati Reds shortstop, is a reserve, and I can't wait to see when they put him in. I swear he's going to be swinging for the fences, right? And if he hits it in the gap, he's going to try to get a triple. But if he gets a single, he's going to steal second, third, and home base. He's going to score by himself. Watch. He's going to put himself in a position to be like, nah, you got to give me that MVP. Ain't nobody steal home base before. And stole second and third. Come on, man. In one inning. So, I can't wait to see that. One of the best hitters in the major leagues at first base, Freddie Freeman. I thought he was going to be the starter, but unfortunately, he's a reserve. And that's cool. That's all good. You know what I'm saying? All the Dodgers can't start, and all the Baltimore Orioles and all the Phillies, and it seems like the same teams have all their players in the All-Star game here. But look at this one. This one is nice because the Colorado Rockies are going to be represented by Ryan McMahon. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right, Ryan. Sorry, bro. My apologies. And then the outfielders reserves, my guy, my Dominicano over there, Teoscar Hernandez from the Dodgers. Then we got Jackson Merrill from the Padres. We got Heliot Ramos from the Giants. Oh, we got a second Giant there. All right, I didn't see that. That's nice. Then we got Brian Reynolds, Pittsburgh Steelers outfielder, and possibility DH, but he also plays outfield for the Atlanta Braves, Marcell Ozuna, who's been having a wonderful year for the Braves, and he's another Dominicano representing. I met him once. His son happened to play on the same T-ball team as my son and daughter. I got to meet him. Really good dude, man. Very humble. And Ozuna, have a great All-Star game, and congratulations on making it to that team, bro. You're having a great season, and continue that for the Braves. So, let me see here. Unavailable, but also made the All-Star game, and they just won't play. The guy that I was just talking about having a dominant season, Chris Sale, Atlanta Braves pitcher. Tyler Glenn Snow from the Dodgers. I know he was like an all-star for the Tampa Bay Rays. And then the Phillies pitcher, Ranger Suarez, who's really good too, man. I'm surprised he's hurt, but things happen. But he would have made the All-Star game, but they might be on the bench. You know what I'm saying? They just might be there, showing and representing their teams. But that's basically the starting lineup and reserves and everyone that's going to be in the 2024 MLB All-Star game that's hosted in Texas. So check it out. I definitely will. Hopefully I put out a little nice video of some highlights that's going on during that game. Now we get into our favorite segment here at Starting Lineup Podcast, besides the Player of the Week and What If. So hopefully you tune in to the end of this video, and if you do, I'll definitely would like for you to write down who is your favorite fantasy NFL player right now this year, who you're looking to select every team that you have. Nice little comment down below for me. Appreciate you, man. So, we'll we'll get this little bad news out of the way, because I wanted to talk about this, man. This is very disappointing. This guy had a promising NFL career. He dominated in high school, dominated in college, but when he made it to the NFL, he didn't pan out at all. They consider him one of the biggest busts in NFL history as a number one pick. So the bad news comes from Jamarcus Russell, former quarterback of the what was it, Oakland Raiders or Los Angeles Raiders, whatever it was. I don't know. I don't remember anymore because now they're Las Vegas. No, they were Oakland Raiders, and he's in a lawsuit. The high school that he went to, he was participating and giving his time to the football team. You know what I mean? As like an assistant coach kind of thing, right? And apparently, or allegedly, someone was going to donate about $75,000 to the sports program at that school, and majority was going to go to the football team. And apparently, if I read it right, Mr. Russell, who's a little younger than me, should have some money in the bank, you know what I mean, to be a little comfortable, unlike me. That's why you guys gotta subscribe. You gotta hit that bada bing. You gotta hit that like. You know what I mean? Come and listen to me. Come and listen to Hova's Starting Lineup Podcast, baby. You know, it's all relevant, sports and entertainment, and this is what we gotta give you today. So, Mr. Russell, unfortunately, cashed that check. Took like $50-some thousand of it and spent it on something, and he got caught, bro. He can't step foot on the high school property. He has to go to court now. He's gonna have to give that money back because it was supposed to be like a charitable type of donation to the school. It wasn't for you to go and chill or go pay your bills. You know what I'm saying? Like, what'd you do? Why did he even think of that? Is my question. But now that that's out of the way, and the court system is gonna dale duro, you know, pause. Good luck to that guy. In Fantasy Talk, which is coming very soon, I'm part of one of the greatest fantasy football leagues on this planet. The Broward's B-Boys Fantasy Football League is the hardest league, pause, the most difficult league there is. All 12 guys, like myself. I won one chip. Now, there's a few, like 5 of us that don't have a championship at all. You know, one guy has like 4 chips. One guy has 3 chips. 2 dudes got 2 championships. And then me and 2 other guys have 1 championship. And I've been in this league for 15 plus years. And it's very difficult. But I'm always on it. I always, on my YouTube channel, I tell you guys to go watch specific fantasy, channels on YouTube that will elevate your game, or maybe even got you thinking about things that you didn't even think about before. So things like this, watch, check this out, man. You may agree with me, or you're probably gonna disagree with me, but the Cleveland Browns have a wonderful running back in Nick Chubb. And after last year's injury, which he had pretty much almost the same injury on the other leg, on the other knee, he's back in action. Now they're going to slowly bring him in, to play. So I'm thinking that he's going to get, especially like the first 8 regular season games, and maybe not even play in the preseason, but they're going to probably give him like 20, to 40% of the plays. You know what I mean? But what's his name? Jerome Ford, who came in and filled in that spot last year and did good for the Cleveland Browns. He should be, and probably is going to be, the starting running back. Now he's going like mid to late rounds in fantasy drafts. And when I do my drafts on Sleeper for mock, he's like my first bench player. And I'm like, wow, I got a running back in my bench that's a potential starter for their football team. And he's probably going to get like 80% of the plays, man. Like, he's young, and it's his turn now, man. Nick Chubb, amazing football player. His athleticism is off the charts. But when you have those injuries, man, it's just hard, difficult, to just come back and be like your regular self. You know, I know Nick Chubb has that mentality. B, I'm going to be out there, dogs. Give me an opportunity. I'm going to show you that I still got it. And I respect that of him, man. I can see it in his face. He's coming to kick ass. But I don't think that he's going to get it all this year. You know what I mean? He's not going to get it all, man. There's no way. Not in my eyes. Another player that I want people to really take a look at that plays for the Baltimore Ravens. He's a wide receiver. He's not even being drafted in some leagues. I did 3 best balls, and I got him all the way like at the end. And they do like 20 rounds. My G, Rashad Bateman. I think this year we got to give him a chance, man. I know people picked him and chose him on their fantasy teams when he was a rookie, and he's been struggling with, injuries and stuff. But this year he's healthy. And listen to this, man. The reason why I want to give him an opportunity and have him on my bench for a possibility of a number 1 wide receiver on the squad, because, they got Flowers over there. They got Zay Flowers, and he's nice. But Rashad Bateman was going to be that guy that Baltimore was looking at to say, you're going to be our number 1 wide receiver. He was the first round pick in 2021, right? He's been, working on these injuries and stuff. This year, right now, he's 100%. He's going either super late in the rounds in fantasy or not even being chosen. They gave him a 2-year extension, $12.8 million. This team got the confidence in this guy. They didn't throw him away, man. They didn't say, we're going to use you for trade bait or nothing. They said, you're going to stay with us, man. We got confidence in you. We trust you. We know who you are, what you can do out there in the field. And Lamar Jackson's going to find you, bro. And I think that he's going to have I'm just telling you, man. He's your 14th pick, right? He's your 14th pick. And he comes out to be one of the number ones. You can't even fill him in some weeks. So you're like, I can't go over, can't put him in for, to replace Jefferson. You know what I mean? But that bye week, and he's there to produce for you, my dude. I don't know, man. The way that I think about fantasy is always like this: who's trying to make that money, and who's really out there trying to be the best player in the league. You know what I mean? Because a lot of guys they bust their ass to get that bag, and then after that it's like, you can see them like declining. You know what I mean? Slowly. But guys like Rashad Bateman, I think that his hunger is like, I belong in this league and I'm going to show you. And I love that from players, man. New Orleans has a running back. His name is Kendrick Miller. And I think that people should take a real good look in handcuffing him with Kamara. He's going between 10 to 12 round in the drafts. And I think we should give him a chance because he is going to be involved in this offense, man. They're not just going to put him in, specific possession or to block or to do nothing. He's going to be there to produce. And just remember I said his name, man, because not too many people are talking about him. A few are, and they have more information than I do because they work for CBS, you know what I mean? But I think that Miller is a really nice pick for your bench. The next player is going to be from Buffalo Bills. He's a wide receiver, Khalil Shakir. Now, of course, Diggs is gone. They still got Knox. Kincaid is their number one tight end. He's going to have a great year. I know everybody's going to pick him in the early rounds. But Shakir is being drafted in the 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th round of drafts. And he has the opportunity to be the number one. I mean, I don't, Samuel, he's good, but I don't think he's going to do all that. And we just don't know how Keon Coleman is going to do. But, I mean, I would pick Coleman over Shakir, but in my fantasy team. But if you don't get the opportunity to get Coleman, I think you could try to get Shakir and have a possibility of a number one on that squad with Josh Allen throwing the rock. It's going to be a good look for you, man. And then, of course, the topic of all topics, man. Nobody is talking about this team. Everybody knows their quarterback is amazing. I got to put up his name because a mí se me olvida de todo, loco. My G, I got the worst memory, son. And people know why. Me and Snoop be hanging out too much. But, of course, Justin Herbert, right? Justin Herbert is not a slouch. He's one of the dopest, not even just player, but fantasy-wise as well. Like, this dude is, slinging it down the field, babe. They lost Allen. He went to the Bears. They lost Eckler. He went to the Commanders. For whatever reason, because they got traded, right? Nobody's talking about this wide receiver core, man. They did draft Lad McConkey, if I'm pronouncing that right. Lad, I'm sorry, man, if I mispronounced it, my G. But yes, they drafted him. They're looking for him to be that number one, to be the future of their franchise at the wide receiver spot. But the three guys that I like, and it's a coin flip, right? You gotta just wish and pray that you pick the right guy. That, Justin Herbert is, he's looking for this guy. Oh my God, he's getting like 12 throws at, a game, 12 attempts. The core is this: DJ Shark Jr., who's not a slouch. He had like one or two great seasons with the Jaguars, but then after that he kind of average and dealing with injuries. Quentin Johnson, who's been there for a while, right, 2-3 years, and Joshua Palmer, who's also been there like 3-4 seasons. These dudes, you have to pick them. You have to pick up one of them and hope for the best. I think that with this stud of a quarterback, kind of remind me of some Dan Marino kind of thing, because his arm is amazing, and he'll throw it right on the spot. That Quentin Johnson, Joshua Palmer, and DJ Shark Jr., right, Baby Shark, you have to try to get them in those late rounds. You know what I mean? They're getting drafted. Every league that I've seen, they're getting drafted. But not too many people are confident. They're like, let's see what they do in the first 3 weeks. They didn't do shit. Done. Waiver wire. Picking up somebody else. And if that happens and you were looking for one of these guys, I would pick them up as soon as your league mate drops them. The Chargers have a decent team, man. They're not going to be great. The real competition is Kansas City in the AFC West. The Raiders, basura, they're not doing nothing. They got a good running back. They got a good wide receiver. They got a rookie tight end that might do something. But who's throwing the ball? Nobody knows. And then Denver, they're rebuilding, man. Son, I feel bad for him because Son is mad nice. But who's throwing the ball? It's all about the quarterback, bro. The wide receivers, unless you're like Debo, that you also run the ball on some plays. It's hard to even think and be like, I'm going to get these guys. I'm going to reach. But that's what I suggest, man. Those are my picks for right now. Do a little more deep dive next Starting Line podcast. So tune in. because fantasy football, it just started, baby. My league at the Broward B-Boys, we already selected what round everyone's going to be picking or choosing their players in the first round and so on and so forth. And I can't wait, bro. Super excited. I know if O was here, he'll be like this. Lo fuimos para allá. Yo, now, hands down sports, I'm not that type of guy that you're going to listen to for fantasy advice all year round. Yes, I love talking about the NFL. It's one of my favorite sports. And I have respect for all these guys that are on these teams. These athletes are amazing. But when it comes to football fantasy, I'm looking for that hunger. I'm looking for that dude that's looking for that bag. I'm looking for that dude that wants to be that guy. You know what I mean? OBJ, Junior type stuff. You know what I mean? So and I see this in a lot of leagues that I joined, I don't recommend this. And what I don't recommend is to try to get two players on the offensive side on the same squad. Meaning, two wide receivers, a running back and the wide receiver, or one of those two with a tight end. Cut that out, babe. What you should do is, who's your quarterback? Okay, try to pair him up with the wide receiver. You know what I mean? If you don't get the opportunity, like a lot of people might not get the opportunity to say, I got C.J. Stroud and I got, Diggs, or I got Tank Dell, or I got Nico. You know what I mean? They might just be with C.J. Stroud only. You know what I'm saying? But they might have an opportunity to say, okay, in the 10th, 12th round, I was able to get Schultz, the tight end, so I could pair up my quarterback with somebody from that offense. I don't really like to pair up the quarterback with the running back. I mostly want them to be with that wide receiver, especially if I know this is the main guy he's going to be looking for every single play. Like Jared Goff and my man, the Sun God, Amon St. Brown. And if you've seen that podcast, The Pivot, they just had him on there, St. Brown. Yo, dogs, that dude is a serious dude, man. Even though he says, yo, I'm a fun guy. You can hang out with me after the game, you know what I mean? Or after practice. I'm a fun dude. But he's all business, babe. And that's one of my favorite players, man. And if my 7th pick comes around, the only one that I would get over him right now would be Bijan Robinson. Because, if I had the number 1 pick, I'm going to go with CMC, He's the best player, fantasy-wise. But if I get there and it's like St. Brown, Chase, or St. Brown, Jefferson, I'm sorry, but I'm going with my guy, St. Brown, all day, every day. Now, going back to this, choosing two players from the same team. Like, I'm not going to get St. Brown and then later on go get this dude Williams that I also did a video about. Go check that out. Even though he's going to have a good season too, man. They're raving about, this is his year. But I don't recommend that stuff, man. I see it a lot, man. There was even one dude in my league last year. From one team, he had a wide receiver, the running back, and the tight end. And I'm like, dogs, I know that the team is a high-powered offense. But what's going to hurt you in multiple weeks, is that one guy is going to be the one, producing the big numbers. And the other two, they're not going to do that much. You know what I mean? Probably under 10 fantasy points. And that's when it hurts. You know what I'm saying? So that's like one of my number one don'ts in fantasy football. If you ever get to listen to me or check out this podcast today, don't pick two players from the same team unless it's the quarterback and wide receiver, quarterback, tight end, or just, the running back. Some people, they're like, oh, but the tight end that I got from the same team, he's on my bench. It was like, just in case my starting tight end gets hurt or has a bye, I got somebody to fill in. I got you, B. You know what I mean? But to me, it's a no-no, bro. That's for sure. So that's what I got today for the NFL and the fantasy football talk. We'll be providing you more and more, man, especially when we do that draft. I hope to record it so you can check out our teams, check out how my squad, my people, my family, my brothers get down. We have a great time. It's only us, no distractions. and we talk about football and other stuff, and have a little drinky drink. But so this is a segment that I like to talk about, which is boxing. You know, I'm not a tough guy. The last fight I had was probably in kindergarten, and you know, if I get punched in the face, I'm gonna lose this beautiful nose and I'll be on the ground. But I would love to attend a fight real soon. Right now, boxing has these top 5 heavyweights ranked, and four of them are going to be fighting soon, and they're going to be fighting each other. So number 1, and of course I can't pronounce these guys' names; they're from other countries, but I'll try my best, man. And I'm sorry, I apologize, and I had to adjust my little thing here, so you know, check me out. So I have Alexander Usyk. He's gonna be rematching Tyson Fury, and Alexander is number 1 ranked. He's 22-0 with 14 KOs, and on December 21st, 2024, he'll be fighting ranked number 2 Tyson Fury, and you know he's Diesel. So even though he's getting to the end of his career, but it's a wonderful career, man. 34 wins, 1 loss, 1 draw, with 24 KOs. So good luck to those guys. It'll be something to watch. I hope you guys tune in. Now, the 3rd ranked heavyweight right now is Anthony Joshua. And of course, like if you've seen my last video, September 21st, 2024, he'll be fighting Daniel Dubois, the Kingslayer. They're both from England. They're both top of the ranks in their weight class, and I think I got money on Anthony Joshua winning this one, man. He's 28-3 with 25 KOs. I can't guarantee a KO, but there might be some guys dropping to the ground between both of those dudes, because they got power, bro. The number 4th ranked boxing heavyweight is Joseph Parker. He's going to be fighting the number 5th ranked fighter, and it's hard to, I can pronounce the last name. His last name is Zhang, but his first name is Zahili. I'm not sure, man, but Joseph is 35-3. He has 23 KOs, and then Mr. Zhang is 27-2-1 with 22 KOs, and they recently fought. Joseph won and beat Zhang recently this year. But these are the top 5 big time fighters, and it's going to be interesting this year, man. September 21st and then December 21st. Don't miss out. Now, of course, us Dominicans really never had like amazing boxers all at the same time available to fight and showcase their skills. So I wanted to give props to, let's see here, 3 guys from the Dominican Republic who have great records and are doing big things in the lightweight and light welterweight weight class, right? So we got Elvis Rodriguez, who's 28 years old. He's 16 wins, 1 loss, 1 draw with 13 KOs. He's very impressive. I've seen 2 of his fights, and I'm like, wow, we got one right here, man. That's gonna represent, you know, because the thing is like in boxing, Puerto Ricans and people from the Mexico, they've been the ones representing boxing for like Latinos, Hispanics, or whatever you want to call it. You know what I'm saying? Whatever name you give it, you know what I'm saying? They've been the top dogs. But, you know, right now, we got some Dominicans that are, putting us on the map. The next one is Michael Rivera. He's 26 years old. He's in the lightweight division. And then we got 25-1. He has no draw. So it's 25 wins, 1 draw, 14 KOs. Dude is looking nice. Pause. Now, the 3rd guy that I want to give props to, and I wish him the best in his career as well, would be Alberto Puello Calderon. He's Dominican, 29 years old. He's 23-0 with 10 KOs. So it doesn't seem like he has the power, but you never know. He'll knock me out. I know that for sure. Light welterweight. So I'm thinking him and Elvis might meet up for a championship belt kind of thing. Maybe that's in the workings. I don't know. I didn't really look into it yet, but I just wanted to, showcase my guys. You know what I'm saying, here in the Starting Lineup podcast. Nosotros somos Dominicano. Yeah, we from New York, babe. I wasn't born over there. You know what I mean? I still got family out there, and I've always showed love to Dominicans and anything that goes down sport-wise. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I am. And, and that's my take on boxing this week, baby. Tune in, man, because there's some good fights out there. For sure, for sure. My next segment is what I like to talk about because, sometimes my mind just goes off into fantasy world. I'll be thinking about some stupid stuff, but, Hands Down Sports likes to do a what if. And today is going to be interesting, man, because it's about baseball. The All-Star game is around the corner. Baseball is like halfway through, man. And yesterday was great baseball. And unfortunately, somebody tried to assassinate your man, Donald Trump. So that news blew up. And then some people didn't really get to, experience or get to hear or watch some of the great baseball that's going on right now. So let me bring it back for you. Boom. All-time Dominican squad. Give me your all-time Cuban squad, Puerto Rican squad, and Venezuela squad. I want to see those four squads. Those four squads, all time. Even if they've already retired or they passed away or whatever, let's put it top, the pitcher, catcher, all positions. This is what I have, my Dominican squad. Boom. David Ortiz at DH. We got Manny in left. You know what I mean? We got Pedro at the mound. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. Imagine if these teams played each other with, like how we do when we talk about the NBA. We're like, oh, Michael Jordan, if LeBron played in his time or Jordan played now, this and that. That's what I'm thinking. What if Venezuela, the DR, the PR, and the Cubanitos, if their best players were out in the field. And I know we see every 4 years the World Baseball Classic, you know what I'm saying? And we have those squads going on, but I'm talking about all time, you know what I mean? Like the all time, just let me know what you think about that, man. That would be amazing baseball. It's either great pitching and everybody getting shut down, or it's going to be great hitting, you know what I mean? With a couple of defensive plays here and there, you know what I mean? My favorite player of all time is Manny Ramirez. Besides him being Dominican, he's from Washington Heights, which is around the corner from where I lived, over in Sleepy Hollow, New York. And when he was in high school, I heard his name, and I was like, man, that dude, beast. And then one of my other all-time favorite players is Miguel Cabrera. He was a Florida Marlin when he won the World Series against the Yankees. And ever since then, Hall of Fame, man. Over 3,000 hits, over 500 home runs. I mean, Triple Crown winner. Like, to do the Triple Crown, Miguel Cabrera was always in that conversation for a while, man. Even Albert Pujols, too. But, Miguel Cabrera did it, man. And that was amazing to see. One of the greatest of all time. So, that's my what if. I also wanted to mention, like, what if, Bronny James and his dad LeBron, made the Lakers a contender this year. But, Bronny James is not playing too good. He's in a really bad slump. I hope he gets out of it, man, because like if you checked out a video that I just did, man, I got friends of mine in my ear talking about this is not NBA quality basketball, babe. This kid needs to go to the G League, or he should have never been drafted. $7 million for 4 years, guaranteed. Great, agent. That's a great agent that he has. And then his dad vouches for him, and he's playing like this, babe. I don't know, dogs. I know he's going to come off the bench. He's not going to be a top 25 player right now. He might be all-star quality maybe down the line. But if he continues in this manner, 20 to 25 minutes, 3 to 5 points and a few this and that, that's not cutting it, man. And he's gonna be out of the NBA real quick, you know. But it is what it is. Just like Cameron's and Mace's podcast. If you're not tuning into that, man, that's another podcast you gotta listen to, man. They talk about sports too, man. This is official, baby. And Cameron breaks it down when he talks about Bronny James, and I agree with him 100%, man. Just gotta do a lot better, bro. But that's this segment right here. All right, let's go into the next one. The player of the week. And this, our players of the week here at Starting Line Podcast is normally we want to represent a ball player, either on the field, on the court, or away from the sport, doing wonderful things for the community, for his family, for whatever reason, but it's all positive. I want to show positive stuff, because the negative stuff, like, this guy Russell, we can't have stuff like that, man. There's people that look up to you guys, for being great athletes. And even when the person is not an athlete themselves, you inspire them to do something great in whatever field they go into. So we're going to talk about the 4th of July that just recently passed, and the Nathan's hot dog contest. I just wanted to give Patrick Bertolini and Miki Suru for being the champions for the male and female contestants in the competition. I always tune in like this because I can't watch this stuff, man. Like, I can't see you dip hot dog bread in water and then eat it like that. That is like I can't do it, Jake, for real. But I always tune in because I don't know why. I always like, your circle de data. I eat hot dogs too, pawns, pero tú sabes. How these guys do it, how they prepare. I wish I could talk to them and say, how do you do this? How's your mentality? Like, athletes have a mentality. To be the best, you got to have, discipline and all that good stuff. You know what I'm saying? So to me, it's like, these guys probably do something similar to that. You know what I mean? Like all those hot dogs. And they don't just do hot dogs. They probably attend other competitions for different foods and stuff. And when you win, you get the sponsorships, and that's where the real money is for these guys. But, Patrick and Miki, I don't know how y'all do it, but, impressive, of course. And this is how I watch it. So I turn it on. I see all the facilities. I see all the glitz and glitter. It's in New York City. Dogs is packed with people. Nathan's big time company. And then they start eating. And then not even 2 minutes in, I change the channel. Then I come back. Are the females playing? All right, wait, hold on. Let me come back. Oh, this guy won. Oh, Patrick. Yo, good job, brother. I change the channel again. Then I come back. Oh, okay, the females are doing their thing. Okay, I got to turn it off because, the bread thing. They're like, yo, pause, me, for real. I can't do it, dog. But the 4th of July, man, it's an event that's been going on for a long time, and and I believe anybody can join, really, if you got the stomach for it. But that's all I got for today, my G. Thanks for listening and tuning in. Of course, if you made it this far, in the comments, leave me who is your favorite All-Star player, or whatever I said earlier. no matter why the logo. And but I would like to know who is your favorite All-Star or fantasy football player that you're looking into, that you want to pick on every single team that you join. That's what I want to know, because we all know who's the top 12, maybe top 25. It's when after that, that's when it gets to who are you choosing. But right now, who's your favorite player? Leave it down in the comments. I really appreciate it. And like always, estamos aquí.